Welcome to the Out of Control Show with Rusty J and Kent C. Straight. It's about to get dangerously dangerous.
In your book, you mentioned government employees who've been injured by UAPs placed on leave and receiving government compensation for their injuries. Is that correct?
That is correct.
How can the government deny we have recovered craft if they're paying people because they've been injured by recovered craft?
Ma'am, that's a great question. That's why I think we're here again, because I've seen the documentation by the U.S. government for several of these individuals who have sustained injuries as a result of a UAP incident.
Cheers.
Cheers, brother.
What's out of control?
Who's out of control?
Where's it out of control?
And why is it out of control, Kent?
You know what is out of control? Aliens.
That's right, Kent.
I mean, I know this is a bit of a weird off, our normal
aliens?
kind of well, no, we're talking the outer space kind here.
Right.
So what's your folks' opinions on that?
What do you think, folks? Are you a believer?
Like, for me, I can't look up at the night sky and see all of that and know that there's so much more that I can't see and think that we're the only things alive out there. Now, what those other things that are alive look like, I don't know. But could there be things that are smarter than us and more advanced than us? There could be, yeah.
Good possibility of it, Kent. I sure hope so. I really hope we're not the
I would have to say
smartest being in the universe.
I don't know, man.
That doesn't say much about the universe. So, and if there is more advanced life and beings out there or here, I sure would be nice if we just quit the hide and go seek and let's just start off and make some contact here, I think.
Well, we're talking billions and billions of years.
Right.
And the human species has been like a drop in the bucket.
That's right.
So, in my opinion, which means nothing because I certainly no expert in any of this, but just reason tells me you look up at the night sky and there must be things out there that are older than us, smarter than us, bigger, meaner. And you know what? If they're coming in for a visit and zooming in and checking things out, they probably tap into our internet, tap into our media, and they just watch us destroying each other. And they're like, lock the door, drive through the red lights, because they out.
Don't stop there. Don't stop there at all.
If you had a planet,
those things will take you down.
If
you up and
if you wanted like an entertainment zoo, something to just watch, like outer space reality TV.
And who knows? It could be their freaking show.
Entertainment.
Right, exactly. The Earth show. Or maybe in their language, it's the shit show. Because really, when you look around the world, it is pretty much one big shit show. So if that's the case, maybe they can help us out and turn things in a different direction.
There's been so many sightings. I mean, going back to like BC, like before Christ.
Right. And some of those sightings,
like thousands of years ago.
Right. Some of the things that were seen then are being seen today, and it's being documented. And now with the disclosure, with when they had the Whistleblower Act there, and we had those certain individual military and different people throughout the government come forward. And
like pilots, and they're like, yeah, we saw this or whatever.
People that worked at stations and up in Antarctica and, different, different experiences and shared their experiences, which there's definitely something going on.
There's something going on.
This world. And, I've seen things numerous times throughout my life. Last week, had an experience, saw a craft. I didn't say a craft, but whatever it was, it mimicked, it really looked like that comet that was in the sky, right? That we're supposed to see.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me about that.
Short amount of time. And, It really wasn't.
Yeah, but wasn't
and
it like a weird thing you were saying? The
Yeah,
comet
like-
was going one
right,
way.
it
and-
looked like a comet with a tail, and it was moving in the direction the tail was pointing. It was the weirdest, oddest thing that I've seen cruising across the sky. Probably
like the
ever.
tail and the comet moved
yeah,
together
like
still?
the way the tail it was pointing, you would think would be flowing like
It would be
in that
going the other way.
direction, right?
Yeah.
But not shooting across the sky with that tail. Unless it was like super, super high in the sky in space, you'd see that effect. But something that as low as that, I thought it wasn't very high. Did that? I found it very odd.
It definitely
and at the
wasn't
same
a
time,
plane
seeing
or
the
something.
Starlink train.
Yeah, that's
those blue
cool.
satellites that we've
Yeah.
seen together there
Yeah,
up on
yeah.
the campfire.
Yeah.
So definitely increased sightings of crazy craft. Now, there's all sorts of stuff happening up in our space right now that we're not aware of, and who knows what, and who knows who has stuff flying and floating around out there. And some of this stuff, who knows, could be military reconnaissance or different countries, like we are in a state of kind of war
Constant
here.
war,
Yeah, and people, who knows, but people are seeing it all across the country. I saw similar sightings and videos in the States, and so I tried videotaping it, and it wasn't very good, but the stuff that was videotaped in the States was a lot better, and it was very similar. So other people are seeing what's flying around, and it's increased. There was some good stuff coming out of Chile, and it makes you think, is like they did kind of do a soft disclosure there, Kent, and the American
Well, they
government.
did it
I
like
say,
during
right?
COVID.
Right. And
They're like, oh, by the
yeah,
way.
Well,
And
Popular Mechanics in 2019 said that they were in possession of a non-worldly vehicle. They,
If something crashed
right?
here, I'm
Pentagon
assuming someone has
said that
hands on
in
it.
that publication. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I could believe it. And
So-
it's been thousands of years though. Like it's not just video now. And the only thing that worries me is like I know a small percentage of it is probably like experimental military aircraft, right? And then that's just going to be some of it. It's not like, but then there's some of it that's just not probably from our world, right? And
Well, let's just say the stuff that these pilots see, and they get into real good detail what it takes for craft to
to
be
like move the way they do.
move the way they do
Yeah.
and stay stationary.
Yeah.
Right? Because when you get so high above the ground, the winds are so intense that it takes a certain amount of force to stay stationary. So to do that, and then on top of it, move the way they move, and most of them just disappear because their acceleration is
Like you're
pretty extreme.
Yeah, you're
Like,
you're
I don't know
talking
if they
like
have
raptors
pilots.
on
Right.
steroids.
Yeah, and they're amazing, right? And they've been seen by many different, militaries, law enforcements, like all around the world, pilots. Like the the database on sightings is so immense.
It's hundreds and hundreds
So-
from all kinds of countries. Yes, every year.
It's just quite amazing that nobody's hit one of these or had a collision, especially with the amount of air traffic we have. Like these things are zooping around in between, in and out, undetected. The real crazy ones are the orbs, and I've seen those myself, my very own eyes. And
What do you mean by that?
they look like just round balls of light, and they go shooting across. I've seen
It's
them at
not like a
different altitudes.
firefly. It's
No,
definitely.
I've seen it with other people, and but
Not that I doubt
but
you. I'm
here's the
just
thing,
trying to
though.
verify. Right?
It was at a time that was before drones and drone technology that wasn't mainstream. So whatever, like the military has been playing with stuff, and they're playing with stuff. Like a lot of the stuff we could be seeing now is just their tech, right?
Could be.
And some of the stuff may not be.
Like I have no problem saying that like a good portion of what people see is probably drones before we knew what those were, and like different military things for sure. I have no problem saying that, but also saying the universe is so huge, we would be foolish to believe we're probably alone in it. And again, just to circle back to what I was saying a little bit ago, is what fascinates me too is the history through all kinds of cultures, through all kinds of cave drawings and Aztec carvings and all this stuff where people have mentioned chariots in the sky or whatever. It's been thousands of years of every now and then different cultures like having a crazy drawing or a painting or something, a flying object in like ancient artwork.
Oh,
You
some
know,
of the
like
some of the sculptures.
Yeah, like, and it's too many to not have some truth to something.
Right, yeah. You can't have
It's
so
just
many
too long,
coincidences.
too many different cultures.
Sure. Look, they've taken that little well, they've done actually the bird, and then there was a little clip there that looked like a brooch of some sort, but
A bird?
a bird, and they blew up and built the bird at a bigger on a bigger scale.
Okay.
And that bird actually flies. They put a motor on it.
So it's like a drone.
Right. It's like a drone. It's like an RC. So yeah, I guess a drone, right? And they did the same thing with that little gold artifact that they found and blew it up and made it out of a lighter alloy. I think they probably just used styrofoam, and it flies. So obviously,
So what? I don't understand. They took a drawing, or what did they do and made it out of foam? What
no,
was it?
they just basically replicated this artifact, which looked like it looked like a little spaceship, but
Okay.
to mimic a bird, right?
But it was made out of gold, you said?
Right.
Okay.
And they blew it up.
They
and
recreated it
and
made it
upsized
fly.
it, and made it fly, and it flies. Right. They use that design. They put some
Like
stabilizers on
rotors on it, like a proper drone?
rotor on the back, and like a plane fly. So it's pretty interesting on
Well, that's what I mean, like the drawings and the history.
right. So there's a lot of evidence supporting the fact that mankind may have been more advanced, right? And then we go through these cataclysms and we lose pretty much all our knowledge, and we kind of have a reset, like the greatest reset, greater than the great reset, right? Where you're like back to caveman days. I'm hoping a great reset might be just losing the power for a while, but the greatest reset, and there's evidence of that happening. So where were we at that point? You haven't explained how these buildings and these pyramids and so on and so forth have been built, right? They have theories.
They've given
but-
us theories, yeah, like dirt
But
ramps
when
and shit.
you listen to the people that have been in there and the stones that are in place in certain areas and where those stones came from and how they were placed, they have no idea how they were put in there and how everything was put together, right? The intricacy of just that, of a pyramid, right? And
Yeah,
the
excellent
stones
engineers.
yeah, you betcha. Some say that those could have been built from the top up. So
From the top up?
From the top up.
What do you mean?
So basically, they would start from the top, and basically, they'd have to have a technology that would levitate that stone, and they would just pull the stones underneath.
I don't know,
right?
man.
Because you look, if you look at how the stones were cut and how they were quarried, the detail, the size, like some of those stones in Baalbek, Lebanon, the Pyramid of the Giants, like we don't have the technology to lift them. And if we do, it's just barely. And those stones there's one that's basically it'll be here. I'll show it to you, and it's cool because it's
Incredible feats.
yeah, and they put these stones on top of 400 ton stones, right? They weren't the ones on the bottom. They put 2 rows of 400 tonners, and then they put these 1,200 tonners down on this pyramid, and it's crazy. Like, how did we do that? Unless you go down the rabbit hole of the giant theory and the giants, was man a lot bigger at one point of our existence on this planet? And was it because even just environmental conditions supported that size?
Well, just to play devil's advocate, because why not? We're talking about friggin' aliens and I guess giants now. But I think, it's my understanding that humans in the past, on average, were actually smaller. And there huge people? Perhaps. There's always, all kinds. Takes all kinds, right? But I also think if back in the day, that's all people had to do. Like if you were a mason or a carpenter, I mean, you worked all day, every day, nonstop. You're working for people who are making you quarry stones, cut down trees, engineers to come up with incredible machines. And all you have all day is people whipping you and like slave labor, and then I don't know, man. I could see hundreds of thousands of people probably over a long time accomplishing some of these feats. Now, I haven't seen these stones per se that the picture you put up. So, yeah, some things may be hard to explain, but could I see with smart people and a whole lot of labor, something like a pyramid getting built? Yes. I could believe that humans could do such things, yes. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm like a 50-50 believer, right?
There's good examples of the ones that were done before, like Giza, and then the ones that were done after, like that were confirmed by humans, right?
Yeah.
And the engineering and the sheer size are not even comparable, right?
Mm.
So what's crazy is the pyramids that are in some of the most remote parts of the world, like Alaska, that people don't realize. And the amount of pyramids in Alaska, there was that one in Nome, Alaska, that nobody really wants to talk about. And some of the stuff that they have found on hills, like you're digging down and then you hit a rock, and basically there's a pyramid underneath this hill, and it's all covered in dirt, and it looks just like a big hill. But underneath that is a stone structure. The craziest one, and this one was the one I saw on Ancient Aliens. Love that show. Don't think it's ever been debunked, but for some of their stuff, right?
I don't know. That guy's hair bothered me, but carry on.
They went to China. They did this show in China.
Okay.
And there is a pyramid in this lake that rivals the Great Pyramid of Giza. And a fisherman, actually a recreational diver, found it. And he convinced his government to go there and do a sonar survey of that lake bottom. And there's like a pyramid, megalithic structures, and nobody knows. So these pyramids are littered all over the planet. It sure seems like some say what's happening in Antarctica. So, right? So who did the, we're not building pyramids right now, and we're pretty advanced. So how advanced were these people to be able to build all these structures, megalithic structures all around the world that have stood the test of time, right? The shit we built ain't going to last, but maybe 100, 200 years. And then after that, Mother Nature takes over if we were to leave. So we don't know. So who is it? Who's doing it? Who's still flying around? We're going to find out sooner or later.
Yeah.
And hopefully not in a way like an Independence Day scenario where all of a sudden we're running for our lives because fucking it's an alien invasion and they're here just to harvest. They're here for the great harvest. That's what the big resets are. They come down and kind of like Jupiter ascending. See that movie?
I did not.
Yeah, no, that's kind of the premise of it. And they use our souls as a drug.
Jesus.
Well, spoiler alert. But Yeah.
I'm not worried about that. That sounds a bit crazy, but a good movie, probably. Well, I'd be more concerned about them wanting resources or something we have that they need or whatever, and we're like their 100th world.
Yeah, like your brains.
Right? And it's
Brains.
so, what do you folks think? I mean, we're just a couple dudes sitting around having some beers. I mean,
Yeah, have you guys seen anything out there?
have you seen anything?
Have you had any experiences?
Comment down below.
Have you been abducted? Right? Because let's just say this
My
is
name's
something
Billy
I can say.
Bob, and I live in the trailer
Right?
park.
For all the new sightings and the disclosures on nobody knows what's flying around out there, you could maybe give some validity now to these abduction cases, and some of them are, fire in the sky.
I have
That's
no
a very
idea.
documented case, and so if that's what's happening now, we're basically saying that there's something out there, we don't know what it is. Are they stealing people? And if that's the case, that's got to be one of the scariest things. Like,
There's a million possibilities because,
you ever wake up with panties or what?
well, number one, we can't prove
Wait.
anything here, right?
No, but
Like,
you
but
can do
like,
research on
But
different
everyone
cases,
watching this,
right?
everyone watching this has at least heard of UFOs or seen a movie or seen a news report. I mean, this is not like a big secret. We're not letting out a big secret here, but we're just thinking like everybody kind of knows about it, and we've all seen kind of videos. And I'm a little worried nowadays with AI, to be honest. Like,
Well, that's the
are
problem
some of the
now.
videos we're gonna see from here on
Videos,
out be
that's right.
fakes?
That's why
like
we look
really
to-
fakes?
Right, for sure. And that's why you got to have like basically eyewitness accounts, and hopefully you can believe people are telling the truth. But I have no reason to lie. And what I seen the other day was something very odd. My daughter saw something similar, which basically I saw from another video that somebody claimed that this is what they were videotaping in the sky. So there's definitely, and I tend to believe her, and she had a very crazy experience a few years back, and it was confirmed by my neighbor because he saw the very same craft go over top of his house. So there's definitely stuff happening, and who's seeing it and who's paying attention, that's what we want to know. And it's good because if we're all seeing it and people are, there's more to the story. So like,
And I don't really have a, like, we normally try to find a solution to whatever we're talking about in our episode. I don't really see a solution. It's just, what do you think? I mean, in my opinion, again, just to end this with a nice bow on top, is the universe is too darn big and too darn old. There's got to be other stuff out there. If they're smarter than us or more advanced than us or have visited us or not, I can't guarantee anything. I don't know. But I think the possibility is very, very high. And that's the kind of where I haven't really ever seen anything in my life. I've always been interested in it. But I'm sure some things have happened to some people. And that's kind
a
of,
lot of it's been captured, and it's been captured around the world, and everybody has their folklore and their legends and
it's too old.
stories about events taking place, and some are very well documented, and they just keep happening. So, one day maybe we'll get to the bottom of what's flying around out there. And
So, aliens, what do you folks think? Join in the discussion. Let us know if you've ever seen anything. Please like, subscribe, and share. And we thank you for watching.
take care. Peace be with everybody.
Kent C. Straight and Rusty J out.
We're out.